Welcome back to the channel. We're doing a movie review for Alien vs. Predator. It came out in 2004 and we finally got Alien Predator on screen. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Wait, PG-13? PG-13 for an Alien Predator movie? PG-13. What?
Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
Yeah, you heard me correctly. This movie was rated PG-13. What? We waited all this time and we get a PG-13 Alien and Predator movie. I don't understand. I do not understand why this was a PG-13 movie. Oh, it blows my fucking mind, man. I figured that was common sense. This should never ever be a PG-13 movie. Why? It should be rated R, 1000%. Studio, like, this isn't a kids movie. Why are you targeting kids? We don't. I sometimes I don't understand what studio's thinking, because like when they made Alien Resurrection, my god, that was awful. But I mean, this movie is nowhere near as awful as that movie, but like, this really reminds me of Freddy vs. Jason. Same concept. You finally get two people on screen, and this is what we get? Like, this movie isn't bad, but it's just, it could be so much better. Man, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Okay, starting off, we got the, Easter egg at the end of Predator 2 where we saw the skull. And when we saw that skull, we're like, oh, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. No, Paul W.S. Anderson that directed this movie, he would do, Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil. And of course, he did that Soldier movie with Kurt Russell. And like, this movie has good parts to it. Like the set design and the idea of the Antarctica, like a pyramid under Antarctica. I really enjoy that. But like, when you start off this movie, it's so confusing at first because like, this makes no sense. Because like, the timeline when it comes to Alien Anthology, it's like, what's going on here? But then of course we find out later that this movie is not canon to the Alien timeline. It was supposed to be like a prequel to the Alien movies, but then when Ridley Scott ended up doing Prometheus and Covenant, it just, AVP 1 and 2, it's just not canon anymore. It makes no sense. At least for the Alien timeline. If you go to the Predator timeline, it might make sense for that, but it's so confusing because like, you have, Lance Hitcherson back. He played Bishop in Aliens, the sequel to Alien, and he's playing Charles Bishop Whalen. So like, it's just even more confusing for us fans. We're like, what's going on here? Yeah, it's a nice nod, but it's like, it can be really confusing at first. And it's like, it's supposed to take place in 2004. I'm so lost. Does anything related to Xenomorphs and the aliens, I thought was perfect. Absolutely perfect. But when it comes to the Predator, I love Predator franchise. I absolutely do. Just as much as my aliens, but I don't like the way they look in this. They're just too big, they're too bulky, and it's just, there's too much shit on them. And every time I hear those lion roar, I just want to like hold a kid down underwater till the bubbles stop coming,
Cute kid.
Precious, isn't he? Don't you just want to hold him underwater till the bubbles stop?
A lot, but it didn't feel solid. It just felt, man, there's a lot left out. There's a lot more they could have done. But like, leading up to this, we had video games, comics, and this is what we ended up with. Again, like Freddy vs. Jason, like the lead up to that was like, we didn't even get Kane Hodder. We got some random guy that played the cook for, Friday the 13th Part 8 when he was in Manhattan. That cook ended up being Jason. Anyway, back to Alien vs. Predator. If I can just borrow you guys' time for 20 seconds, this is not a sponsor. This is about children that need our help. These are children that have cancer, leukemia, all the bad stuff, and it's kill. I'm from Iowa. We have a children's hospital, and you watch any of the Iowa football games during the first quarter, we did the Iowa wave to the children in the hospital. They deserve all the stuff, and I just want to say, guys, in the description box below, I have a link for the description where you can donate, and that's all I want to say, guys, because I absolutely love Iowa, and I love what they're doing with the Iowa children. So please, if you have money and you want to donate, go to the description box, give it to them. Do not give it to me. Throughout the whole movie, there wasn't really anything like terrible. There wasn't really anything that stuck out. I was like, oh, I need to skip. Because there's some movies like in Covenant, for example, I always skip that opening scene. I always skip it. But when it comes to this movie, it's not that bad where I'm skipping stuff. Because you can always watch it, and it's just, you find parts that you enjoy. And sure enough, I still can't get over the way the Predator has that freaking lion's. It's like in Twister. The only knack I have with Twister is they have like a lion roar when the Twister comes. I don't understand it. The best way I would describe this movie is you take Armageddon, you take the drill team, you take creatures from The Thing, and you add in some natural treasure, like treasure hunt, mix it in with escape room. That's your Alien versus Predator. And what the fuck? At the end, we have a Predator just buddying up with the human, like, my enemy is the enemy of my enemy and is my friend. That's when you lost me. I was okay leading up to that point, but as soon as seeing the Predator and a human just become friends, and like it's like in Halloween Ends. So one thing that movie is really up to debate. And the one knack I don't like about Halloween Ends is how Corey and Michael Myers end up being buddies. Like Michael Myers, like, hey, I'm gonna kill this chick. Are you watching? I'm gonna show you how it's done. We've gone so far from the original Predator to the point where this Predator is a best friend with a human. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. There's some times though where the CGI just sticks out, especially that one scene when you see the helicopter coming into the ship. I don't know if that's CGI, puppet, miniature, what do you want to call it, but it's like, dude. And then when he shoots the flare and it's supposed to like show the pyramid, the scale of it does not match. It's like, bro, that doesn't look big at all. That's clearly a miniature. It just sticks like a sore thumb. But there's a lot of things I do enjoy this movie. I really enjoy the whole speech about the Hunter's Moon and the idea of like the whaling station. Like there's a story behind it of, they were all here, then someday they were gone. And again, I love the whole pyramid under Antarctica, because we all know in Antarctica, we do not know what is under there. There could be a pyramid as far as we know, because it's been under ice for 10,000 years. So going there, I do not mind that at all. I really enjoy the ending, because when it comes to the Queen, the Queen looks fantastic, but again, how are you gonna outrun the Queen though? That's the only nag I got. But besides, like, she's outrunning the Queen, I really enjoy the ending. It was very satisfying, and the way the Queen died, yeah, that was a way to go out that wasn't like cheesy or nothing. It's like, it's very realistic. Like, okay, I can see that happening, but that once I laugh every time when that Predator like jumps up and does like a 180 swipe him with the spear. Oh, it's so cool. It's like, yeah.
You big dildo.
And it's really sucks because we were actually gonna get an Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo of Dutch at the very end of this movie, but he said though, he's like, I'm only gonna do that if I lose the California election as governor. Of course, we all know he won his re-election. I don't know if it's his re-election or his first election, but he ended up being the governor of California, so there goes that Dutch cameo, and I'm starting to think we're never ever gonna see another Dutch cameo again. One thing I'm like, I'm not cool with, like, I'm not picking a side of what's better between Alien and Predator, but when you have one alien that kills two predators, and we go watch the sequel, Alien vs. Predator, and you have one predator that kills like 100 xenomorphs, it's like, which one are we doing here, guys? Because clearly this director was a huge fan of the xenomorphs, and then Alien vs. Predator 2, we had the director being a big fan of the Predator, and you can clearly tell, because the xenomorphs, when we first saw the xenomorphs in this movie, it was scary as fuck. And that was, like I said, this movie, home run when it comes to the xenomorphs, but when it comes to the Predator, it's like average at best. It's almost like a fan film watching the Predators. It really does. I really do love that one scene where the Predator is helping that human when she has like a spear and then she uses an alien skull as like a shield. That was badass. I will admit that, but then they start running off together. I'm like, no, no. I would absolutely love if she figured that out by herself, but then I still can't go. I could just see human and Predator just holding hands. La 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 la. Skip to my loot, my darling. It's just, you're supposed to be terrified of Predator. And now it's like, hey man, you want to go watch my kids for this weekend while I go to the casino for the night? You're not supposed to be friends with a fucking Predator. But at the end of the day, when you watch this movie, you can watch it from start to finish, no problem. It had some good moments, and there's some parts where you just want to laugh your ass off, and that's mostly near the end. Characters there, I like the characters. They're all different, but there's not much depth when it comes to the characters. It's just kind of almost gimmick, cliche characters where you see these every time you see these characters in almost every movie. So I thought they could do a little bit more better with that, but at the end of the day, I'm satisfied enough where I'm not like, I wish they never made this. Like, I'm happy they made this because, like, it's not often you get Alien Predator on screen. But again, it's like, man, we could have done so much better. Same with Freddy vs. Jason. They're literally identical in my opinion. But for a SkyGene score, I'm gonna give this sucker like a 6.2 out of 10, and I don't know, that's like a C plus in my book, a C plus, C. I mean, it's just average at best, maybe a tad bit more than average, but again, they could have done so much better. So I'm really like, I cannot wait for Alien and Predator franchise to come back and redo this thing, because it's gonna happen again, and I know it's gonna be so much better than this movie because there's just so much going on. It was overdone, just too much cooks in the kitchen, and I really wish they could have simplified it. But it's Alien versus Predator, guys, and just remember, go Hawkeyes.